Hey, listen up. You could go listen to the same old boring radio. You know, the same 5 songs 50 million times a day. You could zone out to your favorite MP3. Till can't get that ringing out of my head. I'm sure you heard all the drone podcast mumbo jumbo. I'm here to do my radio show. Don't you deserve more for your hard-earned money? On Teal Time Radio, you get entertainment value. We take pride in our shows and don't release junk you won't find anywhere else. So if you're a die-hard Jags fan like me, or a reality TV nut like my old lady, or a non-stop gamer like my son, you want the best entertainment your money can buy. Heck yeah! So give us a chance. We will make you laugh yourself right off your chair. And isn't that what life is about? Having a good time, listening to something you love. So sit back, relax, and have a cold one. And be sure to join us on Teal Time Radio, the only Wizard Media podcast app that really knocks your socks off. New stuff added nearly every day. Check back often. Guaranteed you won't find more content anywhere for under $2. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Stream Time, a Teal Time radio production. I'm your host, CT Jags, and alongside of me, the beautiful Miss Chrissy.
Hey everybody!
Now, on today's show, we're going to go a little different as far as reality TV. We're going to hit up the top show, Bar Rescue.
It's a good show. I really like it. I like how the guy tries to go in and tries to save some of these bars, but some of these people are just too stubborn. They want to go back to their old ways.
And I agree with that. I think he's either trying to, this would be, let's see here. His name is John Taffer.
Yep, John is a very good, what he does, he's been doing this for years and years and years, and some of these people just don't want to listen to him.
Exactly. They don't want to listen to him at all, and basically what happens is it's either on the verge of closing the bar, or there's a hidden agenda in some way, shape, or form to say, well, hey, we're going to bring in this expert, and if they can't turn it around, forget about it. It's a lost cause.
Or
anyway.
They might be just saying, well, you know what, this guy came in to help us, but you know what, I don't believe him. This bar ain't going to be saved, so we're just going to let it close. Just let him do what he's got to do, which is sad because John puts all his time and effort into this show, you know, to get the bars up nice. He even teaches them how to cook. He redoes their bars. He does everything he can to help these people, and they just don't seem to want the help.
Exactly. You know, I'm going to talk about this one episode that sticks out was when they had this pirate bar. And I don't have anything wrong with the pirate bar. Yeah, it was by some corporate, you know, bunch of corporate buildings and whatnot. And I understand, you know, when John came in, he, you know, was trying to change it to something that the corporate
world would accept.
Exactly, but I don't necessarily think how he went about it was the right way.
Maybe he could have changed it to something they all could have agreed on or something. But a pirate bar made no sense in that part of town. And the cook couldn't even cook. What is that? I wouldn't eat that garbage that he was feeding people. Sorry.
That's the main thing. You have, you know, the wife that's the owner, and then you have the head cook, which is the husband, the boyfriend, whatever he is.
But he runs the show.
But he doesn't know what he's doing.
Exactly. I mean, if we're going to run a business, you're going to run it 50-50, husband and wife. You both have say, yes, but you talk about things and you decide together, well, we're going to do this way and that way. And
it seemed like it was either his way or the highway, and he just was a smart aleck about everything. So anyway, in the show, they had it as this pirate bar, and John comes in. And, you know, he sees the things that's wrong. Well, first, you know, it's a pirate-themed bar in the middle of corporate America, basically, with all them corporate buildings right around. And it seemed, you know, it had a lot of potential. But as every show has shown, that even though you bring in the right people and you try to train people to do the right thing, if people aren't willing to listen or aren't willing to, you know, sacrifice, which the lady stated, you know, from the get-go, she wasn't willing to change. At that point, me being John,
I would have pulled out and said, forget it.
Just pulled the plug, exactly.
I would have said, you know what? Okay, then. Your bar's closed as of right now. End of story. I'm not wasting my money, they wasting my time, nothing.
Exactly, because it only ended up a health code violation anyway.
Exactly.
It was the most awful food.
It was dirty looking. That bar looked nasty. If I walked in that bar, I'm sorry, but I would have walked right back out. Did you see how dirty that bar looked?
It was crazy.
That kitchen was nasty. Ugh.
It was absolutely crazy. It gave a new meaning to, dirt infested. I don't even know how it stayed open as long as it.
I'm surprised they don't have cockroaches. Never mind dirt. I'm surprised there weren't cockroaches in that place.
Exactly. And the funny thing is, you've got the bartenders that don't know how to make drinks. You've got the cooks that don't know how to make food. And then you run in this thing, saying pirate theme. Yes. Yahoy and all this, and even got people in character. That's wonderful, but it didn't seem like they had much customer service experience either.
This is not Disney World. That's a Disney World thing. Disney World would be where the pirate theme would fit in, with Captain Hook and all of that. But this is definitely not Disney World. Come on, really, people?
So anyway, John comes in, he does the best job he can, and they're not willing to work with him. They hire a new cook because evidently the husband or the boyfriend, whoever the heck he is, just can't cook. So they have him running back and forth from the tables and everything, and he's not happy with it, and I understand that it's his own thing, and, he can feel disrespected and whatnot, and who that are these people, trying to change us. But at the same token, I don't understand why he was unwilling to change at all, why he wouldn't pick up a cookbook or something.
I would have asked John to hire somebody to help me then. I don't know how to cook. Teach me so I can make everything good and have people enjoy my bar. And then if I want to go back to the pirate team, thinking it works for me, at least you know how to cook better. I
think the main thing was he just liked the fact of being in charge. He liked the fact that he can order people around and everybody was his lackey. Even though he didn't know what he was doing, he didn't know how to run things, he had no idea. And she really should have just left his butt somewhere.
Exactly. I would have sent him back where he came from.
Or, at least, keep the relationship. But, John made a valid point. Supposedly the lady was in her parents' basement.
Exactly.
Okay? You run a restaurant, you gotta have more for yourself than just being in a basement. You gotta at least want your own house, your own something, God,
even I want my own house someday. I don't want to live in somebody's basement. I don't live in anybody's basement, but I wouldn't want to if that was me. Heck no. I'd be like, I'm buying my own house, something. But he made the business go down even worse.
So anyway, a long story short, John, changes the whole aspect of the thing. Now, I understand what he did as far as changing, the bar from, the Pirates Bar to, corporate bar and grill because of all the, different offices around the area. However, he really, in my eyes, didn't really need to change it to saying the word corporate. I think he could have still had a pirate theme if he was willing to work with them. On some nights, like they could have had a pirate theme on one night, and they could have had, maybe a cop theme on another night, or
make it more interesting for the people. I agree.
Exactly. It just didn't make any sense to me. It seemed like John was tired of their, crap, and he wanted to do what he wanted to do to, increase profits and show, the rest of the world, well, either this bar, is good or it's trash.
Exactly. But John should have worked with them more and said, hey, guys, how can we do this so that we're all happy and that we can run a successful bar? Like you said, I think the theme thing would be cool because if I was living in that area and I heard of a bar that had themes every night, a different theme, I'd be like, wow, I want to go there and see what theme they're going to have tonight.
Yeah, exactly. Even if during the week, during lunchtime, you keep it, corporate and whatnot.
Yeah, during the week, during lunch, exactly. Keep it corporate. But on the weekends, especially not in the afternoons, but maybe at night, every night have a different theme for like a Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night. Or, something like that.
Why couldn't they change the name, in my eyes, to like Pirates Bay, Corporate Hangout, or something?
Yeah.
Something that, keeps the pirate name. But I do understand, as far as profit-wise, there really is no use for a pirate thing in the middle of a downtown where it's not all, crazy with different types of people. This this wasn't New York, this wasn't California, this wasn't
Vegas. I was just thinking that, right. Vegas, it would have been fine, or New Orleans, or somewhere like that.
Even Orlando, with like the Universal Studios and everything.
That's what I'm saying. This isn't Florida, That's a Florida theme, or a California theme for their,
Maybe they should have just, if they weren't happy with what was going on, maybe they should have just relocated.
Maybe. Or talked to John and went to John to begin with and said, look, John, you know what? I'm not happy with it like this. Can we do something so that everybody's happy? You, me, and corporate America.
And the thing is, the ones I feel sorry about are, the wait staff that are busting their tails to adjust the things and trying to follow the right things just for John to change everything, and he changed it real nice. But after John leaves, 2 days later, from what I'm seeing, is it resorts back to the same old.
Yep.
Which basically states, which is the case in most of John's shows, you can soup up any car, but if it's a lemon,
it's going to stay a lemon.
It's going to remain that way, exactly.
Well, you know what? That's a kick in the butt for John. That he went to all this trouble to help them, and then they did that to him. Well, that's kind of a kick in the butt,
Yeah, I agree. It's absolutely crazy. You know what, though? I seen a different episode where they had this, cheeky bar. It was, I forgot the name of it at the time, but it was an exact replica of the bar right across from it.
Mm-hmm.
And they had these green cups, but they looked exactly like the other.
Why would you copy somebody else? Why wouldn't you want to have your own idea, your own agenda? Like I tell my son, you know what? You got to grow up and be your own person. Well, they should have grown up and had their own kind of bar.
Well, I think it was a vendetta from what the boss was saying. They got beat out of one thing, in a legal battle, and then they just wanted to keep, the legend moving on.
That's immaturity. Come on. Are we in high school, grammar school, middle school? What is it?
But New Orleans, a place of party central in my eyes. They have the Mardi Gras and everything else.
There's a million other themes in New Orleans, that you could have used.
Now,
I like that's what it came out to be, though, where he made those blue cups with the blue drinks.
Exactly, and they sparkled and they lit up and everything.
Yup, and everybody said, well, where'd you get those? I want one of those. And then they had the old barber chair.
Exactly, and they used that as a shot glass
chair. Yup, and all the all the teenagers come down there for spring break or whatever. They're in that shot chair getting those shots.
But the whole thing I liked about it, I'm sorry, we don't mean to go back and forth and everything, but in the beginning of the show, it showed, the owner wanted change, but he was reluctant to it. And then the manager that was ahead of that, thought he knew it all, and it turns out he didn't, but he accepted the fact that he didn't, and he was able to take responsibility and say, well, hey, I got to step my game up.
Exactly.
And improve. Whereas the ones from the pirate thing, they
weren't willing to do anything.
Yeah, if you're not willing, you're really just wasting John's time.
Yeah. At least at the other bar, the Tiki Bar, they at least were willing to learn how to make different drinks, and they were willing to change the name of their bar and step it up a little, which is cool. And
it was something, simple. It was a simple menu. But really, when you go out to a bar, you're not really looking to get a full course meal anyway.
No, when you go out to a bar, you want, to have drinks and maybe a little appetizer, and that's it. You're not going to eat a full meal. Nobody's going to keep drinking if they eat a full meal. You have an appetizer, then guess what? You still got room for drinks or shots or whatever.
Exactly. And if they do have, some kind of meal, if it's something small like a sandwich or something.
Oh, yeah, that's different.
Because everybody does, get the munchies, or most people do when they're, drinking and doing whatever they're doing.
Well, who wants to have a full steak, potatoes, and vegetables, let's say, and then go drinking? No, that's too much.
Yeah, somebody would puke.
Yes,
They'd be puking all over Bourbon Street.
Exactly.
Which is crazy because it ended up, the name of the new bar ended up, I think it was Bourbon Spirit.
Yeah, it was. Because it was supposed to be haunted by a spirit of somebody that had originally owned it, I think it was.
Yeah, exactly. And we liked how the makeover came out and whatnot.
Yes, it came out real nice.
We thought that John did a heck of a job. I think he does a heck of a job on the equipment. The thing that I have to wonder, though, when he leaves, and the bar becomes whatever, the new, does he take the equipment with him, as in, okay, yeah, I helped you out, but now you have to, buy the equipment?
Oh, I don't know.
See,
I wonder. It never tells you, but no, I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't think you would buy the equipment and then just take it back.
Yes, but I'm sure he's not spending $100,000 for this bar just to have no kind of repayment.
Yeah, I'm sure they must work out something, or he might buy the equipment used. It's still like brand new, and maybe people donate to him too. We never know. They may donate equipment from places that close down.
But even bar equipment used is still expensive, real expensive. And I wonder why some of these bars are shutting down. Could it be because he's bringing these equipment in, and they just can't manage the upkeep of it? If the machine breaks down, how much does it cost to fix? Do they have the the inventory
or the means or the money to fix it? Exactly.
I mean, just because you have a couple of days of profits doesn't, take away all them years that you had them down for. You're still in debt.
Exactly.
And it takes time to get out of debt. It's not a quick fix.
That's true. Very true, honey.
So you have to wonder. All the equipment is nice and all, and I'm sure what John means well, but wouldn't it be, better if you just went the simpler way and just new glasses or a new small machine rather than, extravagant and elegant? And I understand what he's doing.
Well, maybe, I think a lot of their equipment seems to be outdated, a lot of these places, so he ends up replacing them. One bar, I think he replaced the bar floor. Not to be repetitive to something that was an old show, but yeah, in one of the shows, he replaced actually the bar floor because the bar floor actually started to stink underneath.
And I'm understanding that, but to redo a place, it still costs money, and it's not like, the producers of the show are saying, well, hey, I'm going to give somebody $100,000 to replace their bar, because really, do they care about it that much?
And maybe he may get donations from people too.
But he does run his own.
The show.
He does run his own company, and he is a credential. So I'm not taking it out of no disrespect to John or anybody that he hires.
Oh no, of course not.
But the whole thing about the show, while it is legit, while he could save some, as you've seen in reviews and everything else, a lot of the places have closed down. But it's not really due to his fault. It's due to the fact of, if it's a lemon to begin with,
it's going to stay a lemon.
Exactly.
And not only that, but it also has to do with people not wanting to help themselves.
And not wanting to adapt to change. And when John leaves, they still have to, have some kind of organization skills.
Exactly. I mean, if I had a bar and John came in and helped me and said to me, here, I fixed your bar, I changed the name, everything, I would be like, thank you, John, very much for all the help. Now, can you help me learn how to upkeep my bar if I didn't know how to? I need a little help organizing it. And maybe once they show me some organization skills, maybe it would help me with my bar if I had one.
Exactly. But you have to wonder, like in any profession, somebody, when they come to an emergency situation, are going to resort back to what they know. You have to retrain yourself to do things differently, and that's hard to do.
Exactly.
But if your business is flatlining, you have to make adjustments to change.
Exactly.
Because it's still a business. Even though you want to do this to help people out or help yourself and your friends and blah, 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 it's still a business. And if it makes no profit, it just stays in debt.
It's sad that some of these businesses go under, but, what are you going to do? You can't help people that won't help themselves.
So the moral of the story is, while, we both love the show, I mean, I'm addicted to it. Every time that it comes on, I'm just sitting in front of the tube and just watching it, and I'm just amazed at the work he's done. You have to keep in mind that in reality, things take time, things take effort, and if somebody's not willing to put 120% after being taught something to change, it will not, prosper. Just because you had a few days of, great work is wonderful, but once them top chefs and top management leave, it's down to you. And if running your own business, and this is maybe a message to small business owners.
Exactly.
You need to come up with your own game plan to keep it afloat and keep it from going sour.
Exactly. My father owns his own business, so I know what goes into a business. I'm watching him from the time I was a small child, so I know what goes into a business.
A lot of hard work. A lot of
hard work. A lot of missed weekends, missed birthdays, missed Christmases, missed holidays, He has to work.
A bunch of dedication. It's just dedication, hard work, and for the most part, the profits only come after a certain amount of time. Even if you're remodeling, it's going to take at least a year minimum to get out of debt.
Let me tell you something. My father moved from one place to another, and for the first, I think, 6 months to a year, he was still in debt for a while because he, just started up this new business in a new place, actually. It was the same business, but it was in a new spot. But, and it was still hard for him. But eventually he made, he started making more money and doing a little better.
But in order to build the new rep after John is finished, he basically states two things. You're either going to follow what I just showed you, and you're going to prosper, but you're going to have to learn on your own, from here on out. This is on you.
Right.
Or you just brought an expert in, and it's not salvageable, even with the remodel, regardless of the cost, and that is grounds for a health inspector or whoever it is to come by and shut your business down because it's not working.
Exactly.
At that point, if you don't have the right management, you need to change management. If you don't have the right workers, you need to retrain workers.
Yep.
It's not personal, it's business. And in a business...
Exactly. If you know that, your busboys aren't doing what they're supposed to, have somebody come in, pay the money, have them trained. Have your bartenders trained. Have your servers trained. Your cook, something to help yourself.
Exactly. And that is the point of it all, and we hope you enjoyed another edition of Stream Time brought to you by Teal Time Radio. Please feel free to check us out on Twitter, CTJags, TealTimeRadio.com, on Amazon Marketplace, under Google Apps, or you can donate if you'd like. Feel free to leave us a suggestion, feedback, or a comment on any of them locations or at info@tealtimeradio.com. Thank you so much. Have yourself a good night.